Just about 2 miles away from where the Nationals used to play, it's Bethesda Big Train Baseball here at the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy in the shadows of the hallowed grounds of RFK Stadium. As you can see here, Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy, what a field it is. And we're here on Big Train TV to bring you tonight's broadcast between the Bethesda Big Train and the DC Grays. Hello, everybody, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck here with you tonight on Big Train TV as the Big Train look to extend their record to 8-1. Last night, they had a rollicking victory over the Silver Spring Thunderbolts, 12-3, where they rode a very big ninth inning to victory. And Ben, what are you looking forward to from this team tonight?
Yeah, it was very interesting. Of course, Sal Colangelo's 500th win as a manager here in the CRCBL, and they did it in very Big Train fashion, played the game the right way, executed the little things, and then when the other team made a couple mistakes, they really pounced and were able to take advantage of that. Again, a huge inning in the top of the ninth to really secure the win there against Silver Spring. And they're just going to look to keep the offensive momentum that has really been flowing now over the last 3.5 games, including that extra inning makeup game that they played before the regularly scheduled game last night. They're going to look to keep that rolling here against DC Grays starter Jake Davidson.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at the starting matchup quickly. It's Jake Davidson that's going to be out of Kenyon College, and he's going to do battle with Noah Carbajal on the other side. Carbajal having an interesting season. He had one good outing and one bad outing, and Austin Gauthier will stand in to be the first batter here as the Big Train look to get off to a quick start here at the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy, about 2.2 miles away from where the Nationals used to play their home games at Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium. Is the first pitch in the dirt, and we're underway. I'll tell you what, Ben, being on the grounds of that, it's just weird.
Probably a little spooky, right?
Yeah, it just felt like a ghost town, and it really was. I mean, no one's used that stadium since 2017 full time, as that's low ball too. And just cool to see, just think about all the history that's happened in that stadium, especially with the Washington football team. Could see the field. There's a couple of goalposts up, field goals. Wonder why that is. Anyways, the 2-0 from Davidson. Taken in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. That stadium's set to be demolished in 2022, but it's been set to be demolished for many years now.
Quite some time.
Yeah. So you never know if they'll actually go through with it. Maybe this one's true, as that one's down low, and it's 3-1. So Gauthier working pretty well here, making Davidson earn some strikes here on the mound. 3-1 is grounded up the middle, right to the second baseman. A sliding play there is Vandenberg. He throws him out at first. And there's the first out. So a nice play there from Vandenberg to slide over to his left, shading a bit far away, and makes the long throw to first base.
Yeah, and an even better scoop there by Sprague Lott, the first baseman for DC tonight. Jared Sprague Lott wearing number 11. One hopper low to the turf and just swallowed that thing up in that big old mitt on his hand.
So here's Darius Foster out of San Francisco. He'll take his first pitch from Davidson. That's fouled back and out of play into the, I guess that's the clubhouse. I'm not quite sure what that is over there, that big building. Here at the
pavilion thing?
It's a very nice facility. Yeah,
it's a pavilion.
Pavilion.
It's like a batting cage.
The indoor batting cage is below us here at the Nationals Youth Academy.
Fantastic facility just overall.
0-1
really shows, I think, you were talking about RFK, of course, driving by it on the way in, coming from downtown because 395 was just an absolute mess on the way over here. I think it really just talks about how much baseball and the Washington Nationals organization and how it represents baseball here in the nation's capital has come since that 2005 inaugural season, and really established themselves not just as a community centerpiece as they have with this fantastic facility that serves youth baseball throughout the region, but also as a championship contender. Maybe not this season as much, but
Foster goes down swinging for the second out. But yeah, I mean, in the first season for the Nationals, if you believe that, they were in first place, and I believe it was July. In July, they were at least 5 games up in first place. Starting off their new stadium. Well, not really new. The Senators played there a while back.
They're new to them home.
It was a funky place to play baseball, I'll tell you that. But special place in a lot of D.C. residents' heart is.
Spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, my first game was there, if you can believe that. Way back in 2006, 2-1 pitcher's duel between, get this, Steve Traxel and Beltran Perez.
A lot of John Lannon, a lot of Levon Hernandez.
It's a strike there. It's 1-1. Yeah, Levon Hernandez played for the Mets a while back, but
yep.
Thinking of guys like Jason Marquis. He didn't play at RFK. Trying to think of some of the stars they had all these years. John Patterson.
Yeah.
That was a big one. Tony Armas.
Yeah, remember him.
Obscure players galore tonight is
Jose Vidro.
Yeah, Vidro was good.
Carlos Guzman up the middle.
It's Christian Guzman. Carlos Guillen is also good.
I think I just combined the two.
Here's the pitch, 3-1. Taken for ball 4, so Matt Thomas is aboard with 2 outs. And Rocco Pepe will look to maybe do something that he hasn't done over the last, several at-bats and get on base via a hit and not a hit by pitch.
Yeah. Pepe, 7 hit by pitches this season. It has not been something he's enjoyed.
He might be up to 8 now.
No, it's 7.
Still 7. We saw him get hit a couple times last night, and his dad voiced his displeasure, but Pepe looking to get on via some other way, so that's inside.
And speaking of getting on base, Matt Thomas leading the team with a .559 on-base percentage. Just took it up a bump there, drawing his 8th walk of the young season. Maybe looking for his 3rd swiped bag as well.
Southeastern part of the nation's capital. That's bounced right to the pitcher Davidson. He'll settle into his mitt and throw out Pepe at first base to retire the side. So a couple of base runners here, just that walk, but no one comes across. That's the only one to reach, and that'll do it for the top half of first. Big Train down quickly. Scott Bandura leads off here in the nation's capital, the southeastern part of the nation's capital. As the Big Train went down quietly in the first inning, just a walk. Facing off against Noah Carbajal in to look to trim that ERA down a little bit. It's a shade over 12.4 on the season, but that's just in 2 appearances. And he had a great appearance in the opening day. It's a half swing there from Bandura, and he goes around for the first strike.
4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks, 6 earned runs for Carbajal. Las Vegas native.
It's 1-1 there. Long Beach State dirt bag. You got a good vantage point here up on the picnic pavilion at the Nationals Youth Academy. No press box tonight, as that's low.
We're always in the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth, of course.
It travels.
Wherever we may be.
It travels. Apologies for no pregame show today, as Bandura gets a hold of one to left field, but Foster's right under that, and he'll make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, interesting, positioning of the outfield. Probably a little bit easier for Foster than maybe Matt Thomas here in right. Foster with the sun basically straight behind him in left center field. Not always easy.
There's a strike there by Peter Costigan, the left fielder. Costigan wearing number 32 this season. Takes one low, 1-1. The 1-1 is high, ball 2.
Costigan, 333 on base percentage, 167 batting average, 4 runs scored.
So he bounces that one to first base, or lines it to first base, and Sean Ewell makes the play for the first out. I was just going to say out of the College of Charleston, but instead he lines out to Sean Ewell, and that'll bring up Sam Kaplan. They got their outfield battery as their top 3 in the lineup.
Center, left, right to lead things off for DC tonight.
Big L3 from Costigan, but Sam Kaplan's going to be the batter here. Kaplan, the righty.
He's got a little bit of pop, 5 RBIs, 4 hits, 1 homer.
So there's a strike right down the pipe from Carbajal.
One of just 2 DC players to send a big fly this year.
Kaplan swings and misses there, and it's 0-2.
We'll wait and see, but it looks like Carbajal's been able to get into a light rhythm here in the first.
Kaplan out of Pacific University, I believe it is. So he swings and misses for strike 3, and what an opening inning for Noah Carbajal. 1-2-3 as the Big Train put up a 0 in response to DC putting up 1. We'll have you back here on Big Train TV just after the break. Kemp Alderman to lead off here, looking to extend his .462 batting average on the season, and he's been everything the Big Train have wanted and more in his first couple of games here.
The man-child.
That's what Coach Sal Colangelo called him on the lineup card today.
It's been fun to decode those try our best. I don't think there was a single name on that card that was on one of these players' birth certificate.
K-Dog for Kyle Velasquez and deleted for Nolan Sean Ewell. That's 2-0 now to Kemp Alderman. Strictly turf field here. Maybe a little bit of dirt in the infield, but strictly turf for the Nationals Youth Academy. 326 down the left field line, 307, or right field line, 307 down the left field line, and 389 to dead, or 369 to dead center.
Kemp's got to be looking at that 307 thinking,
Kemp,
if I pull one, put one over that 326 in left center where the scoreboard is, might get all the way.
As Kemp lines that one to short, a tough hop for the third baseman. He'll fire in time to first base. The tough hop there, but a good throw regardless as it retires Alderman. You know, Wacker made that nice play at third base there.
Yeah, and another impressive pick by Sprague Lott at first. That mitt has been working wonders for him.
So that'll bring up Jack Cohn, Stone Cold, Jesus, whatever you call him, he just rakes. It's in the dirt now, and it's not the dirt, the turf, and it's 1-0.
The quote-unquote dirt. Cohn on the year, 12 hits, and 50% of those are two-baggers. Both him and Kyle Velasquez hanging out in the on-deck circle right now. Just get doubles. I mean, that's what they do. Cohn, like I said, 6 doubles out of 12 hits. Velasquez, 6 doubles out of 9 hits.
Big cut and a miss there from Cohn, and it's 2-1. But yeah, like I said, strictly turf. You'll see this in a couple of ballparks. I know University of Delaware has a strictly turf field now at Bob Hanna
University
Stadium.
of Pittsburgh as well.
2-1. It's outside, and it's ball 3.
At Charles L. Cost Field. Peterson Sports Complex.
I've had many moments at Bob Hanna Field when I did baseball camp way back when.
Interesting delivery
And there's
from
ball 4.
Davidson. I think some have said almost knuckleballer-esque. To me, it's just got kind of like an interesting hitch as he takes his stride to the plate.
And you'll see a couple of those happen. You see a lot of pitchers that have that as well. As that'll bring up Kyle Velasquez, the second baseman.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's been out of the stretch the whole time?
Yeah, I think so. I think his lineup or his windup might just be a stretch. We see a lot of pitchers nowadays just strictly use the stretch.
And I like that. I do. I think, obviously back in my day as a 6th grade rec baseball player.
That's chopped up the middle, could be 2. Steps on second for 1, back to first, double play, and the inning is over. So, turn double play by Vandenberg as the big train are retired once more. No runs across as the big train head to the bottom of the second here, 0-0 at the Washington Nationals Youth Academy in Southeast. Burt Camper, the catcher, to lead off here, the cleanup hitter for the DC Grays as they look to respond to the 0 that was put up, and a good double play turn by Patrick Vandenberg. He's due up 4th in this inning, should someone get on.
The Towson Tiger behind the dish tonight.
Carvajal's first pitch is bounced foul behind the home plate, and it's 1-0. Or, excuse me, 0-1. Got crossed up a little bit there, as catchers often do.
333 average, 600 on-base percentage, 2 hits, a couple walks. Looking at him to clean things up throughout this evening as he
fouls another one back.
Quickly in the hole.
0-2 quickly here is Carvajal. We saw him work very fast. His outing in
I admire that
Gaithersburg.
greatly.
And when he slowed it down a little bit is when he ran into trouble. That was what happened in that.
All my favorite pitchers work quick.
Something about it.
Cooper Ron's right at the top of the list.
Really helps as there's a
Good
high
pitch. Just
way to lay off there from Burt Camper.
This is a very interesting angle. So as you said, we are way up above the first base line, a little elevated on the picnic pavilion. So we have a really good view of balls high and low, not really so much over the plate. That one did look inside and quite low.
Got to keep saying it's in the turf, the sod.
It's the same thing.
The earth.
It's not
warm
earth.
burner.
It's not sod. It's not earth. It's rubber.
Swing and a miss there as the ball gets away or tipped, so Camper will have another chance.
2-2 on Camper. Nice easy swing. And look at the batting boxes. I mean, I think we've talked about that a little bit. you can see in a dirt infield how much those batters boxes get dug out.
So there's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and Camper goes down swinging.
Yeah, back-to-back swinging Ks for Noah Carbajal. Comes in tonight, like we said, with 6 of those, now up to 8. When he's got it going, he definitely has a lot of swing and miss stuff out there on the mound.
Getting going tonight as Cam Bufford steps in. First pitch in the turf.
Lanky shortstop.
Lanky shortstop is in the turf for ball 1.
4 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 run.
That's blooped into shallow center, and left coming on is the center fielder. Conan will make the catch for the second out.
Well, glove flip to Austin Gauthier. Put an exclamation mark on that. I mean, Jack Cohn, you know, we talk about his hitting a lot, I feel like, and we've talked about his pitching as he's made 2 appearances out there on the rubber. But his defense is quietly one of the best parts of his game. He's got a cannon of a left arm, as we know from what we've seen from him on the mound. But, I mean, his range is really good. And I think last night, a couple of those big doubles from Silver Spring to Tacoma that maybe took a one-hopper off the wall, he played those excellently. He knew he really didn't have a chance to run them down in the air, so he was positioned right and ready for those, you know, quick hoppers off the chain link fence out there at Montgomery Blair Stadium.
As Sprague Lott, who's probably one of the better hitters in this lineup for the DC Grays, splinters his bat there. He'll have to get new kindling. Very nice facility. Couple of fields adjacent to each other.
I think so. 3 fields, 1 softball, 1 smaller kind of youth baseball straight behind us, and then this beauty of a centerpiece.
Almost like the Ripken Field in Aberdeen, Havre de Grace. Couple of fields adjacent to each other as Carbajal deals with Sprague Lott again and swings and misses there.
And even not as adjacent, but I mean, Cabin John Regional Park, home of Shirley Povich Field, has a good 6 baseball fields.
Plenty should Povich Field need work. they have plenty to play on if need be. Lines it to third base. Fielded by Pepe. He'll fire to first in time for the 3rd out. So another quick inning here for both sides is a 1-2-3 inning for Carbajal, his 2nd in a row.
About 2 complete innings in 20 minutes.
Absolutely, and it's much different than the last couple of nights. But as we return to the top half of the 3rd inning, Big Train due up. Due up for them is Nip, Sean Uell, and Gauthier. We'll see you here on Big Train TV. Grant Nip will be the first batter here as Jake Davidson looks to continue his solid line through a couple innings of work. He's got a couple of walks, but he hasn't run into any trouble. Got a double play to get out of it and a ground out last time.
Love to see what Grant Nip can do here, starting things off.
As he crushes one to center field. Going back is the center fielder Bandora on the track at the wall. He does not make the catch, and it comes off his glove. Nip racing for third, and he's going to amble in there. The throw is stopped in the infield. And I was looking for the word there, and Grant Nip gets all the way to third with a well-struck triple that maybe should have been a flyout.
Like I said, love to see what he can do leading this inning off.
And we'll see if they score that in error. You never know with the way the center fielder had to run for that ball. But Nip is 90 feet away with Sean Uell up. Gave that ball a ride, but to the deepest part of the ballpark. Not sure if it would be out at any of the stadiums in our division. Sean Ewell takes one low. 2-0 here with the runner on third, Nip. We'll see what they score that. Like I said, it was a long way to run, so you certainly think it might be maybe a double. That's low again. It's 3-0.
And, you know, there's always that slight element of hometown scoring. You know, maybe a little bit more reluctant to give an error in situations like that.
Yeah, some new faces as well on the bench and the bullpen for the big train tonight.
Constant addition over the last couple days.
Danny Neerai available off the bench tonight as there's ball 4 to Sean Ewell, and there's 2 runners on, but the double play is back in order for Austin Gauthier, who grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, Gauthier back in the lead-up spot after night off last night. Foster bumped up there. 368 on-base percentage, 8 ribbies, 9 hits, 9 runs scored, 5 walks, and 2 yokes.
As Gauthier yokes at that one and swings and misses.
Looking for a yoke there.
Grounded out to Patrick Vandenberg at second base.
Looking to delete that baseball, as Nolan Shawnuel would say.
So first and third and nobody out.
Florida boy.
Shut out squarely on the line here for Davidson in their first strike, and it's quickly 0-2 to Gauthier, the Maryland commit.
By the way, E8 on Grant Nip.
I figured it would probably be an error as he had it in his glove and it just fell out.
Yeah. Really good effort by Bandora to track that all the way to the wall as Shawnuel takes second unchallenged.
Not defensive indifference there, as that would only happen if there was no reason for him to steal second.
I mean, we saw that come back to bite the defense with the big train on the base paths last night. As I think it was Velasquez or Torres.
It's low.
One of the Ks was able to come home on a throw down. I think it was when Doyle stole second or tried to steal second. He was caught stealing in that very long 9th inning.
So 2-2 here to Gauthier with the runners on second and third. Double plays out of order. Maybe we'll see if he just pitches around him and tries to load the bases here.
So it might have been Nip who came home.
That's low again. Runs in bunches has been the name of the game for the big train this season.
Like we said, 9 in the 9th last night to take a 12-3 win after finally completing that what turned out to be a 10-3 victory over Silver Spring from the second night of this season.
Gauthier
off the handle there.
Yeah, kind of hits a P-rod over to the first base side.
2 in scoring position for a man who has been pretty efficient at getting them home. Like we said, 8 ribeyes dined on for Mr.
Yeah,
Gauthier.
this lineup is not bereft of ribeyes this season.
Especially not the...
So here's the payoff pitch to Gauthier. Taking ball 4 and the bases are loaded. So we saw pitchers yesterday run into trouble with the base on balls and hit by pitch, and Darius Foster with the bases loaded here can add to his skinny RBI total this season. Just one RBI thus far. Foster out of, like we said, out of San Francisco. Taking low, ball 1.
Big Train have left a lot of runners on base so far this season. Bases loaded, no outs. Love to get at least 2 here to start things off scoring-wise in the top of the third.
So there's a strike, and it hasn't really mattered that they left on players on base this season. They've won 7 of 8.
Yeah, I mean, you look at last night, 12 runs across, 12 runners left on base, but of course, 9 of those left on base came before the 9th inning where they scored 9 runs. You know, the Gaithersburg game on opening night.
As Foster bloops that one into shallow right coming on, and that's going to be a base hit, and that'll score 2. Stopping at second is Gauthier. The throw in is offline, and Gauthier will take the turn and head to third as it gets away. Foster to second. It's an RBI single for Darius Foster, who drives in 2.
Yep, and there you go. You got 2. My whole point is moot. I'll just stop talking now.
So single and advancing to second on an error by I guess the catcher, because he didn't make that play.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I'd probably have that as a throwing error on the right fielder, Kaplan.
So the first run,
just because it was not a great throw, is well offline and well low.
I believe those 2 runs are unearned on Davidson because of the error to lead off the inning.
Well, one of the 2.
One of the 2, yeah. And Matt Thomas.
Sean Uell, who scored, would still be earned.
It's been a few games since someone on the big train has homered. You know, they didn't homer in the last one.
Well, you're calling one, so that probably means somebody will.
I didn't get to call one in.
Yeah, salt in my voice there.
3 in Lorton put me squarely back in front at 5-4. So that's inside.
How about Darius Foster tripling his RBI total in the season with 1 swing there?
Yeah,
up to 3.
Placing it perfectly. That's really all he's done this season. Is a lot of his base hits.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want that to be misconstrued as criticism of Crazy 8 there. I mean, what he's done for this offense, he brings something entirely unique, right? He's not the guy that's going to go out there and deliver 11 RBIs like Matt Thomas has. Sorry, 12 RBIs. I'm selling him a little bit short. But what he does is get on base. I mean, .538 on base percentage, 14 hits, just 2 extra base hits out of those, 15 runs scored, 8 stolen bases.
And with the amount of runs the Big Train have scored this season, it's almost video game numbers for pretty much every batter in this lineup. As Thomas swings and misses there, and it's 2-2.
But Foster works especially hard at that, and it especially has that sort of niche, single on-base throwing. I was right. It's a throwing error on the right fielder.
E9 in your scorebook.
But so what that's going to mean is those 2 runs or the 2 runners on base would still be earned, but they technically advanced. I guess Foster at least, maybe Gauthier as well, advanced to second and third respectively on the throwing error.
Yeah, Thomas staying alive here. We have a great view of the Big Train bullpen as well. We can heckle them if we want.
And we can hear them heckling back.
They're waving at us. Thomas swings and misses for strike 3, so there's the first out of the inning. And a big one to get for Davidson.
Big cut there for Matt Thomas. He was trying to deposit that one well beyond that outfield fence. So the fence, I mean, we talked about the short porch in left field, so to say. But it's an interesting decision screen-wise because where it's a little bit deeper, like you said, 326 down the right field line, the fence is much taller.
Right, and that's probably why.
I mean, there's a street out there, so you can understand not wanting to destroy passing by cars.
That's probably why there's a bullpen in left field instead of there's one, because there's just a street right there. So it makes a lot of sense. This Kemp Alderman is up now. Or Rocco Pepe, excuse me. Had my order mixed up. Davidson trying to get out of this here. Got a quick strikeout of Thomas. That's crushed to center field, ranging over the right fielder, or the center fielder, and he makes the sliding catch and having to get back and tag is Gauthier. He'll come in to score. But what a beautiful catch there by the center fielder, Bondora, who makes up for his error earlier.
Yeah, fantastic. Short warning track, really. Not that wide. And, again, it's tough to tell the texture difference, right, going from the turf outfield grass to the turf warning track. But he really timed that one really well, knowing where the wall was, obviously, in his home ballpark, and being able to come up with that one. A little unfortunate. Did slip as he was coming up to get the relay throw in. So a good job by Bufford, the shortstop, by cutting that one off.
And that left field wall is beckoning Kemp Alderman as there goes Foster, and the throw is not even close to being in time. He's safe at third.
Nearly came off the bag sliding in there, but that's a pretty easy number 9 for number 8 in black.
And you can almost pencil that in almost every time he's a base with nobody in front of him. But I think so he gets 1 RBI because there was an error. I believe that's right. Isn't that correct? He gets 1 RBI on his double, or does he get 2? Since the guy reached on an error.
It's still a run batted in. It's just not an earned run.
Okay, so 2 RBI for Foster and 1 for Pepe on the long sac fly.
Well, you're saying on the throwing error?
I was just seeing if
I don't think that second run scored on the throwing error.
You know, I was just trying to figure out.
I know. I'm just trying to explain.
Trying to see if if they drive it in after someone reaches on an error, does that runner count as a run?
Yes.
An RBI. Okay. That was the question I had. Is Alderman? Yeah, that left field bullpen is beckoning for him to just deposit one into there, maybe even past that light tower and left.
I can't tell exactly what's down there. There's a slight drop off beyond the field facility. A little bit of a hill, perhaps. Have to break out the binoculars and
canyon,
double check.
I guess. Depression out there behind the left field fence of some sort.
How about Pepe as well, up to double digits in RBIs as well?
Yeah, Rocco Pepe having to wear a couple this year, but he's also made it count when he does hit the ball. It's hit high in the infield, just shading onto the outfield grass is the second baseman Vandenberg. But coming in is the right fielder Kaplan, and he'll make the play to retire the side. So a couple runs come in for the big train. That's 3. They lead it 3-0, middle of 3. And they'll come back, and the DC Grays will come back up when we come back here on Big Train. Vandenberg, who's made a couple of sparkling plays in the field today, will lead off this inning for DC, looking to finally get a runner on base. It's been 2 perfect innings thus far for Noah Carbajal.
323 hitter, 429 on base percentage.
And he hits that one up the middle for a base hit. So how about that? Vandenberg not waiting and gets a base hit up the middle on the first pitch he sees from Noah Carbajal.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird chopper there off the mound.
You'll see those. You'll see those at turf fields. Specifically, I can remember I interviewed a player who used to play at Rogers Center, and he said, you got to learn – it teaches you to be a lot more quick in the field when you play on turf because you got to worry about the bounces. You got to worry about, jumping up high to get one as I jump there. But
showing off the hops.
And the weird hops. Like, I've seen inside the park home runs happen because of that. I forget who it was, but someone had hit an inside the park home run at the Metrodome a while back where the ball was –
Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome.
Well, it came in and it bounced and it went over the fielder who tried to jump, tried to short hop it, and it jumped over his head and it went for an inside the park home run. There's a big swing and a miss from Robbie Wacker. Couldn't whack that one.
That was a good one. I'll give you that one.
Instead, he comes up empty and it's quickly 0-2.
Taking a whack at it.
Take a whack at it. We'll have plenty of those tonight. We're here all night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Carbajal quickly 0-2 with Vandenberg on first. We'll see if he's going here. Long hold, fires and delivers. Swings and miss in the dirt, and that will be strike 3. So another strikeout for Carbajal, his 3rd of the start, and Kenny Bell will stand in.
Big hack for Robbie Whack, and he goes down empty.
Mac Whack, Patty Whack. I remember that was the home run call of the one legendary Greg Brown of Rob Makoviak on the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's your obscure player.
Yeah.
You get to write. You gotta fill in those guys. You haven't had a chance to recently. As Bell looks in there for a strike and it's 0-1.
I'll let you take care of that. It's your department. You do so well at it. I wouldn't want to infringe.
I'm allowing you to. I'm allowing you to, Ben. That's what you got to offer as a color
No,
guy tonight.
I could never.
I feel like
Could
you
never
remember
live
some.
up to the standard you set.
Bell hits one high into the infield, but shading onto the outfield grass, hoping for a play is Velasquez, and he won't get there as it bounces towards the bullpen. But yeah, some new faces out there in the bullpen. You see Josh Gross is out there, and Ryan Lynch as well, and
Matt Thomas saying hi to his guys.
yeah, of course, Danny Neary on the bench. And Brock Guffey, but he hasn't been listed as available yet.
Not yet.
We'll see him at some
I
point.
think he'll pitch in the doubleheader. Returner for the big train. Pitched back here in 2018 at the University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Couple Crimson Tide players on this roster now.
Much to the chagrin of our friend Reagan Towers, who goes to Auburn, as there's a swing and a miss by Bell, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Kenny Bell's had a, or no, I think he went down.
Oh, that's strike three.
Strike
So
three.
back-to-back strikeouts for Carbajal after the leadoff single by Patrick Vandenberg, and the lineup will turn over for Scott Bandura, who's had an adventure out in center field today.
Yeah, and that's 4 on the day for Mr. Carbajal in the bump.
In bunches as well.
Double digits now for him on the season, and double-digit strikeouts for Kenny Bell as he heads back to the bench.
And heads that right back to Carbajal, and he'll just flip it to Sean Ewell at first, and that's a solid inning there from Carbajal. One hit, but nothing else as the big train up 3 heading into their top half of the 4th inning. Yes. Big train back to the dish as Kemp Alderman flew out his last time up, and Jack Cohn will stand in to lead off this inning. Walked his first time, as that's it, bouncing into the catcher's glove of Burt Camper. Nice name there for Burt Camper. He might be one for the all-name team. Cohn hits one hard but high, and that'll settle into the mid of Vandenberg for the first out.
Yeah, Vandenberg playing pretty deep in that second base hole. And that one nice, loud but soft.
Is a vacuum out there at second base.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some range over there. He's standing, 3 steps-ish onto the green turf rather than the brown turf, not the dirt and the grass. Turf and the turf.
So Kyle Velasquez grounded into a double play his last time up. No chance for him to do that here. 4-3 double play. Takes the first pitch for a ball, and it's 1-0. Velasquez has had a generally solid season, been a steady presence in the lineup, not letting the world on fire by any means like some of the guys are, but he has been reliable as he bounces that one. And who else but Vandenberg?
Yeah.
First base.
By the way.
Oh, and 2 outs, all retired by Vandenberg.
What I just noticed, interesting little note for our viewers. Black away tops for the big train tonight. White bottoms. Not the grays. Which I guess makes sense. Give them some more time to do laundry. Only have to worry about getting the jersey done, not necessarily the pants.
So 2 quick outs for Jake Davison certainly is interesting.
The black and white is really a great combo.
So Grant Knipp has that very open stance. The long stance.
Bat resting on his back shoulder.
Drills that one past the third baseman, Whacker, and into left field for a base hit. And Grant Knipp is aboard for the second time.
Yeah, 1 for 1. I guess 1 for 2 technically, right? Still. 2 very big base knocks, quote unquote, for him.
And I just want to point out that Nolan Shanuel will never get his name right. They'll never get his name right on the PA system.
What did they just say?
They said Shanuel.
Shanuel.
As our friend in
It's a tough one.
Silver Spring did last night.
Good friend.
If he homers here, they'll be saying, what the heck?
Shanuel with the very high hands.
1-0 outside.
The lefty batting stance. Interesting to see what he does tonight out of the 9-hole.
Yeah, it's a batting stance that is just like Byron Buxton's. Holds that high. Grounds that one foul right towards our photographer, Maggie Laird. And it's 1-1. Shanuel with Knipp on first and 2 down. Would it be shocking if it goes to Vandenberg here? So there's a strike.
Not quite. He's been definitely active in the field. Couple putouts.
When you're good at fielding, they seem to always come to you.
Like you said, that 4U3 double play. Got the pants rolled up, showing off those high navy socks. DC really embracing the Grays name with the white home unis. Really do look like you would see from the home.
And he's rung up swinging. Sorry, partner, but he rung him up there and got your point knocked out as Shanuel goes down looking. Runner on, but nothing else as the big train go down quietly here in the 4th inning. Still 3-0, middle of 4.
One in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Peter Costigan here to stand in the nation's capital.
Southeast section of the nation's capital.
Right near the Navy Yard.
Well, little bit of DC trivia for you, Tyler.
All right.
So there's northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, obviously. What's the center point?
Isn't it just DC?
No, like where do the quadrants meet?
It's got to be the reflecting pool of the Washington Monument, correct?
That would be incorrect.
Is it the ellipse?
No.
Then I couldn't tell you.
It would be the U.S. Capitol.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm surprised I didn't guess that as Costigan fouls it back. But yeah, we're in our makeshift Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth. You just saw their wonderful promotion. The All-Star Pavilion to our left, field a bit to our, I guess, southeast, if you want to call it, southwest, if you want to call it that.
Probably
Pops
more
in
northwest.
There. 1 and 2. Costigan was quickly down 0 and 2, but now trying to battle back. Fouls it way up, and it's going to go on to the other field. Heads up. Couple people out there.
Working on a softball windup. Maybe a young Odici Alexander over here on field 3 of the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy.
And that's lined into center field for a base hit, and Cohen will have to play it on a hop as Costigan's aboard. But I'll tell you what, she may be good, but she's no Nicole Slythe. She was the greatest pitcher.
I don't know. That one play Alexander made, the glove flip to home, was one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen on.
And I'll give her credit where credit is due, but the best pitcher in Robert Morris history, Nicole Slythe, was just ridiculous. And I don't have the stats offhand. I think she had a career 178 ERA, and I think she threw like 4 no-hitters, including one it was a perfect game in the NEC tournament in 2015.
How about Montana Fouts as well out of Alabama?
Yeah.
Slinging it from the circle.
But now it's Sam Kaplan with a runner on first as he grounds that one right to short to flip to second for one. Velasquez to first, and that goes over the head of Sean Ewell, who probably lost it in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough. Sean Ewell might be in the worst position with the sun out there because, I mean, it's just right in his face. And you can tell. I don't think he's got sunglasses on. Yeah, no, he's going to get some. I think that's Trevor Doyle out there delivering a nice gift.
Almost got hit in the head with that ball.
He had no idea where it was coming from, and he made the right move, right, instantly turning around and ducking, making sure he got it out of the way.
So a 6-4-3 fielder's choice on that one, but reaching on it as Burke Camper comes up. And I believe Jenny Finch is another good softball pitcher.
I mean, she's one of the greatest of all time.
You know, maybe a future one on our hands. You never know.
And again, that's what I was talking about back in the first inning. This is what's so cool about this facility.
Is that pops in there for a strike. 0-2.
Is not just the opportunity it gives to young ball players
it's actually
of any age, of any sex, of any race, to develop their skills, but also to do so right in the shadow of some really great collegiate baseball being played over here on the main field.
That one that was another strike. So 0-2 as Carbajal continues to impress. Just the 2 hits thus far. None have stood up to score. Holds a little bit and delivers. Bounced foul into the Grays dugout, and a nice play by the coach there.
Excellent play. Got it straight between his legs, kept the eyes down, came up ready to throw on the front step of the dugout.
A couple of helicopters pass over. It's one thing you won't get too much in D.C. is air traffic. But
not
looking
enough
to
helicopters.
be air traffic control here. Someone sends one through the air for a home run.
We are not sponsored by NATCA.
We are not, but
yet
someone sends one for a home run.
Wouldn't say no.
That might be a problem as D.C. is restricted airspace. Juan Soto got in trouble a few times for that, probably. Maybe Kyle Schwarber the other night.
Yeah.
They gave him a red seat. See that?
I did. I actually had that first Nats game I got to. Actually, the only one this season so far. Last one I went to was rained out the night before. This one was rained out on our off day that last Thursday, a week ago. Would have been against the Giants.
I'll be heading there. Fouled again.
Talking about that because they hadn't put it in yet. So I said, I wonder when they're going to put it in. And then they put it in within the next week. I'm a prophet. What can I say?
Has Adam Dunn got a couple of those up there?
I think Dunn has 1. Harper has 2, I want to say. Schwarber has 1. I think Zimmerman might have 1.
Oppo? That's impressive. I feel like Soto would get one as swinging and missing for strike 3 is Burke Camper. And there's 2 down.
That's a good question. I don't know that off the top of my head. Who else has 1? I know those 3 that we listed each have at least 1. I think Harper has at least 2.
I would be shocked if Dunn didn't have 1. I mean, Dunn sent one.
Well, I don't remember how long he played in that ballpark. That's
right.
The thing.
He sent one onto the Shea Bridge at Citi Field a while back. Kyle Schwarber sent a couple over the Shea Bridge, which has never really been done. But I know he sent one over the Shea Bridge off Matt Harvey a couple of years ago. And it was just utterly impressive. Majestic. 1-0 here to Cam Bufford, the shortstop, who flew out to center his last time up. A nice running play by Cone and glove flip. Here's the 2-0. Hit high in the air to right field, but playable for Thomas, and he will make the catch to retire the side, so nothing comes in on the one hit. Carbajal through 3 scoreless here on Big Train TV. Back here on Big Train TV is leading off this inning will be Austin Gauthier, the leadoff hitter. And Ben, we have an update to your query.
Do we?
Yeah.
Not really.
The tradition, at least.
We learned where it started, but
changing the seat colors.
Still trying to figure out who else has one.
So that's low.
Started by one of the greatest long ball hitters of all time, Frank Howard, back in his Washington Senators days, at RFK Stadium, which has featured plenty this evening.
Back when it was called DC Stadium, I believe. So that's strike one.
Well, I think that was before RFK was RFK.
DC Stadium is RFK. Griffith Stadium is the other one.
I meant before.
Yeah, that's grounded to second, and Vandenberg, the shore-handed second baseman, fires first in time, and that's the second 4-3 that Gauthier's grounded out to today. Just can't escape Vandenberg here in the 5th. Quick 5 innings thus far. It's only going to change going forward after I say that.
That's typically the trend.
3-0, Big Train lead. They got all their runs way back in the 3rd inning, and then nothing's come across the score since. As we hear some raucous applause from the field behind us as that bounces in there.
A lot more excitement over there, it feels like, than we've had over here.
Well, not too many fans in the stands here.
Maybe we should go over broadcast that one.
Yeah, that might be more exciting. We've heard a lot of cheers and applause over that way.
They don't have the scoreboard up, otherwise I'd check in.
So that again bounces, and it's 2-0 from Davidson, who's playing some spike ball here.
Guy Stewart, the second field.
That is actually spelled Stewart, and not.
There's no other way to pronounce it.
And I'm not sure what the other field's called. Just Field 3, I guess.
The Marriott Foundation.
That's just proudly supported by the Marriott Foundation.
Marriott Foundation Field.
200 feet. I could do that in a heartbeat down the line. 2-1 to Foster.
We got time between the innings.
Yeah, we don't have enough time, though. We could go out there after the game's over, maybe, when the lights turn on. As that sun starts to settle behind.
Not fast enough.
The horizon. 3-1 to Foster, and again bounces in there, and he's aboard. And look out, he's going to be on second in about 40 seconds. Can't let him get on base. You just can't.
Second time on base today.
Guess he'll make you pay.
As we've said, 9 stolen bases this season. Looking for double digits here.
Back pick to first base and not in time to get Foster.
Not even close. Saw that one coming. I mean,
Heads up
he
play, though, regardless.
pretty hefty primary lead. Normally you'll see guys with their front foot just at the start of that cutout, but Foster has his back foot there and then takes 3 or 4 more gallops down towards second.
Slow pitch there from Davidson is in there for a ball. It's 2-0. Keep almost dropping my scorebook over the edge.
Yeah, see, I've got mine like resting half over, half on.
So there goes Foster, and he is safe. He's out. That was a close call, and no replay in this league. So the first caught stealing of Darius Foster this season. That was a very close play. I don't necessarily agree with that one. He looks safe.
I think he got under the tag there, and third base umpire Norm Gordon not necessarily in the best position to see that from behind, or from looking from between second and third over to the bag.
And reaching safely with a walk is Matt Thomas for the second time.
I think that's only the first or second time Foster's been caught stealing this year.
Yeah, he's usually,
It's hard to do.
when he's in motion, he's usually there. But unfortunately for that one, closer play than most.
But they get the base runner right back with Thomas reaching for the second time tonight. A walk sandwich filled with a strikeout.
Strikeout sauce.
Sure, that's one way to put it.
Mayonnaise.
Looks like we'll get a check from the pitching coach here.
Yeah, Davidson trying to get out of this inning any way he can with a runner on and 2 outs. Rocco Pepe. He's grounded out to the pitcher and at a sacrifice fly. Shadows starting to creep in here. There's a strike from Davidson. It's 0-1.
Yeah,
Shadows are pretty much a lot different than we've seen at other fields as we see.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, the kind of half forest extending from.
So that ball is laced down the left field line, and that's going to be a fair ball going into the corner. I didn't think that was fair.
I was waiting for you to realize.
That looked foul to me, but a fair ball for Pepe, who reaches with a double, very close. He laced it, and I'm sorry for that one.
Very narrow foul territory down the left field line. I mean, maybe a couple of feet. Like I said, the warning track is not wide all the way around, as I think we're going to get our first call to the bullpen here for Reggie Terry and the DC Grays.
We'll have to see what he decides to do here as, trotting in from the bullpen. Can't quite see who it is because of the sun. With a long trot in, just like the major leagues. There's also action in the big train pen.
Oh, they don't have numbers on the front of their uniforms either. I just realized that.
So we'll have to figure out who the new pitcher is for DC. It's a lefty. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out. As he enters to Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. Great song.
Excellent selection.
Great guitar riff to do. It's 52 is the number. He's a righty, he's a lefty. Tim Jinks, the new pitcher for the DC Grays. 4 2/3 innings.
Nope.
3 2/3 innings, excuse me. Is it 4 2/3? Top 5.
Yeah,
4 2/3 innings for Davidson. Solid innings, allowed a couple of runs and a couple unearned. But Jinx will come on to try to get out of this mess. Not quite a mess in the other sense of the word, but yes, there is action. There was action at least, or there still is action in the big train bullpen. As Jinx warms up here. Looks to be Ryan Lynch getting up for the first time here. We'll see if he comes in for Carbajal next inning, who's pitched 4 beautiful innings for Bethesda.
Be the first time we've seen Lynch this year. Penn High School out of Granger, Indiana.
So Tim Jinks takes over on the mound, and the first batter he has to face with 2 runners in scoring position. How about Kemp Alderman, who's been silenced today, came into tonight batting .462, facing off against the lefty. And speaking of left, he'll try to send it exactly where Tim Jinks came from. Checks the runner at second. Sets and delivers the first pitch to Alderman. High ball 1. Kemp Alderman's home run in Lorton set waves on the, I believe it was the Richter scale.
Brick, New Jersey native.
I've been there.
Drew University. I have a couple friends from there. Christian Brothers Academy. 6'1",
Alderman hits one hard right to Vandenberg, who'll settle behind it, throw to first in time to retire the side. So Big Train don't get any runs across after getting runners second and third. Alderman grounds out to second base, much like others have tonight. Still lead 3-0 here on Big Train TV. Sprague Lott leads off against Noah Carbajal, who will be out here for his 5th inning of work, assuming he gets through it. We saw Ryan Lynch up in the bullpen, and now we see a couple of guys throwing around the ball. Zach Locke is up there as well, as the first pitch is taken for a ball, and it's 1-0. Love to get to see who is the next pitcher out of that pen, as it's 1-1 quickly here. Carbajal, like we said before, works very fast. 3-run stand is the difference. 3 runs they scored back in the third. Sprague Lott hits one high into center field. Ranging back is center fielder Cohn, and he'll make the catch for the first out.
A little bit under that one. Pretty decent contact out there for Cohn.
And those shadows are just a nightmare right now. There's a big sunspot in about left center and also in right, but the rest of the field is sort of masked. And you got to think if those, I don't know if those mess with the guys a little bit out there on the field, but no ill effects on that one as Cohn is the first pitch to Vandenberg is taken for a strike right down the middle. Vandenberg singled his first time up, one for one. Been a thorn in the side of Big Train tonight. That's bounced to third. Settling behind it is Pepe. He'll fire to first, and it comes off the bag, but makes the tag there is Sean Ewell. Good play there to retire Vandenberg. And 2 quick outs as Robbie Wacker comes up. Wacker did not whack one his first time up. He struck out swinging.
Very funky line for Jake Davidson now in the dugout. 4 2/3 innings, like you said. 3 hits allowed. 3 runs, 2 of them earned. How about this? 6 walks and 3 strikeouts.
That is filling your bingo card out, but in the worst way possible.
Actually, 7 walks.
2 quick strikes there from Carbajal on the hitter Robbie Wacker, and he's staring exactly what he had last time in the face here. Here's the 0-2. Hits one, lines it deep into center field. Cohn racing over for it, leaps and makes the catch to retire the side. He gave it a ride, but right into the mid of Jack Cohn. 1-2-3 go the Grays here in the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-0 here on Yes. Tim Jinks on for his second inning of work. Well, he pitched a third of an inning last time.
To face Jack Cohn.
To face Jesus.
Introduced as Kyle Velasquez. I thought we were past that last night.
I think this Tacoma guy will never leave us. Unless it's Bob Johnson. So there's a strike in there. As he corrects him while the pitch was being thrown.
Well, no, he waited. He waited.
Cohn gets under one to center field. Settling under it is Bandura, and he'll have an easy play there to make the catch for the first out. It's been a bit quiet since that third inning. Cohn flies out to his counterpart in center field. As now Kyle Velasquez is up. It's Tim Jinks. Now the shadows are just encompassing the entire infield. The outfield, though, still some sunspots.
Yeah, like we said, a little partial coverage.
Velasquez up the middle. Vandenberg to his left, makes it, throws to first, and it's not in time as Velasquez will beat it out. But way to get to that ball from Vandenberg.
Impressive play to range over deep in the hole. Fantastic jump throw. On target, just a step behind Kyle Velasquez.
So an infield single, but, you know, if Vandenberg makes that play, that's just excellent. Yeah, Ryan Lynch still up and throwing. It's a lefty. Listed as a righty on Coach Sal's lineup chart, so. Oh, well, maybe he's switch pitchers. That ball gets to the backstop, and going down to second base is Velasquez. No throw from Camper.
Yeah, Velasquez hesitated there, and it almost cost him because, I mean, that backstop is not much of a backstopper. That thing bounced straight back to Camper.
More fans will start to settle in here as the
more of a bounce stop than a backstop.
The youth game wraps up. Yeah, that's exactly what that is, especially with turf. There's a lot of give there. Or not a lot of give there, I guess I'll say. Dancing off second base is Velasquez. Jinks looks back and holds. Nip takes a strike. Or excuse me, that's a ball. 2-0. So Nip, Sean Ewell, and Gauthier would be the next three if anybody else gets on base. It's only one out. Cohn flew out to center the first time up this inning. Velasquez still moving around out there like Jose Reyes. So that pours in there, but that's a ball 3-0. The sun is getting more and more
It's getting there.
Brutal. Straight at us, but going down here as we get into the later innings of this game, but top of the sixth inning.
Beautiful day, though.
Very beautiful for some baseball.
Really
There's a strike from Jinks.
Fantastic weather all week.
It really has been, and I will say, it's just been we're just glad that that's happened after there's been so much rain recently.
Clear skies, 77 degrees at first pitch. Nice little breeze coming in.
Checks the runner at second base.
No flag movement, so to say. Some light ruffling.
There was a little bit of a breeze earlier today, but it settled into very, very soft in the later hours. And there's ball forward to Nip, so 2 runners on with 1 out for Nolan Sean Ewell. Still never gets his name right. On deck is the leadoff hitter, Gauthier, who's got a 4-3 sandwich. And it certainly looks like Carvajal's night is done. Sean Ewell hits one over third base into foul territory and out of play.
Down to whatever's over there. 6'3", 220.
It sure does look like a just hodgepodge of several assorted things down the left field line.
I think I see like a little police station, I guess.
Yeah.
Behind the dugout and left.
Your guess is as good as mine here.
Just seeing police across.
So there goes the runners, and a double steal is on. The throw down to third is high, and both runners will be safe.
Impressive play there by Wacker to come down with it, and then come down at all. I mean, he got way up for that throw from Camper.
Running wild, running wild. There's a reason this team usually leads the league in stolen bases by a wide margin. Now second and third with a base open and 1-1 to Shanuel. Hits one very high and out of play, heading towards the pavilion.
31 stolen
and
bags.
hits the pavilion.
31 stolen bags coming into tonight for the Train as a team. I believe that would get them up to, count them up, 1, 2, 3. I think there should be right around 34, 35 by my math.
Moving.
34 going on 35.
Shanuel waits on that one and grounds it right to Vandenberg. The run will come in at least as Shanuel is grounded at first, so sacrifice to get the run in there.
Yeah, and a really effective small ball play there from Shanuel and the Big Train base runners getting over into the position where what they've been able to thrive on tonight, ground balls to the second baseman, is able to bring home their 4th run of the night.
Right, and a lot of ground balls to the second baseman in this game as Vandenberg has been in action a lot, and they'll have a mound conference here and seeing if there's a new pitcher, and it looks like there will be. So Jinx's night is done after, that's 1 inning, I believe. Pitched solidly in relief of Davidson. That 1 run does come in to score, but that's all. And as they change pitchers now, we'll take it to a word from our sponsors at the Dandy Walker.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Kai Cummings, the lean righty, takes over on the mound. 6'3", 180 out of Mount St. Mary's. The Mountaineers.
Just the Mount.
The Mount. Yes, I should have known that because they played in the NEC. He's got the stirrups working. See often on the mound from some pitchers in the major leagues. Delivers, wearing single digit. So that ball's way up there in the infield, and under it is Bufford at shortstop. And he'll make the play to retire the side. So Cummings comes in and gets the out he was looking for. Big Train tack on one more. It's 4-0, middle of 6.
kind of thing.
Ryan Lynch makes his big train debut here in the top or bottom of the 6th inning, and he'll face off against Kenny Bell, the DH. Bufford recorded last out. Lynch out of Notre Dame, one of the new arrivals here, wearing number 29, lefty.
Notre Dame in the College World Series, starting in the next couple days out in Omaha.
Interesting to see these guys no longer with them, though. Second pitch, it's 2-0.
What's become a theme recently for the Big Train, 5 really solid innings from their starter, Noah Carbajal.
Coach Sal's leash
no runs
getting
allowed.
a little longer.
2 hits.
It's a long swing and a miss there from Kenny Bell, and it's 2-1.
4 strikeouts. And no walks. So he does what he needed to do and lowers that ERA a little bit.
So there's a strike, and it's quickly 2-2 here on Kenny Bell after getting ahead 2-0.
But the man on the mound now, Ryan Lynch, like we said, rising sophomore at Notre Dame. 6'2", 200 lefty. Celebrate his 20th birthday in a few days.
Fouled off there by Kenny Bell. Another helicopter overhead.
Just 2/3 of an inning pitched this year at Notre Dame. 1 strikeout, 3 walks. Athletic family, son to Greg and Diana. Greg played baseball at Wisconsin. Sister Christina plays soccer at Florida State. So besides dad, it runs in the family in the ACC.
Count now runs full to Kenny Bell. Here's the payoff offering from Ryan Lynch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's a strikeout for the first batter faced for Ryan Lynch in his big train debut.
Kenny Bell 2 for 2 in swinging strikeouts.
Bell's had a rough one.
Yeah. 12 now on the season. And speaking of athletic family members, his cousin Ryan Sierakowski, number 23rd overall pick in the first round of the MLS Super Draft by the Portland Timbers.
How about that? Portland Timbers also played the DC United, who used to play
In RFK.
in RFK. So ball one.
It all comes full circle.
It really does. You can link everything back to RFK, can't you? I see a plane in the airspace. How about that? Foul back.
It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
So that clangs off the roof of the All-Star Pavilion and bounces off of it.
It took a roundabout approach back to the ground.
1-1 here to the leadoff hitter, Scott Bandura, who's 0 for 2. Inside, he leaned out of the way of that one, and it's 2-1.
Gray's dugout thought that one hit him. Ran a little bit inside, but don't think it caught that loose sleeve jersey for number 30 in white, Scott Bandura, the center fielder.
2-1 now. So there's 3-1 quickly. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You will never find someone further than 6 degrees, I don't think. So there's a strike there, and the count runs full once more. Ryan Lynch, 2 full counts in his debut.
Lynch, the 2019-2020 Gatorade Indiana Baseball Player of the Year. Top left-handed pitcher in the state. So that one's fouled back.
See our assistant GM, Patrick Chapman, walking the hallowed grounds of the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. Sun's starting to settle behind the horizon here. There's no more sunspots in the outfield, just a glare. Lynch deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ryan Lynch in his debut.
And that one a little bit more impressive as he battled back from being a little bit behind in the count to get Scott Bandura, who doesn't whiff often. Just 2 strikeouts for him coming into tonight.
Big strikeout to get, and we'll look to make it 3 as Peter Costigan is up. Costigan 1 for 2 with a line out and a single in his last at-bat, but was thrown out at second. Part of a 6-4-3 fielder's choice from the next batter, Sam Kaplan, taking low, ball 1. Plenty of games coming up for you on Big Train TV. Tomorrow night we will be in Gaithersburg, of course. Ben has that call that's popped way up there. Could come out of play and into the bullpen. And it will. Not into the bullpen, but just past it.
Souvenir for the fellas down there.
Getting darker and darker here as we play in southeastern District of Columbia.
And by the way, if you're
Strike
asking,
1 and 2.
why Ryan Lynch is here and no longer with the Irish. Probably due to the fact that they probably have a limited travel roster out to Omaha. And he only had one appearance for the Irish this year, as we mentioned.
Appearing here for the big train, quickly 2-2. 2 strike counts on all 3 batters now. We'll see more action up in the bullpen. Looks like a right-hander up and throwing. At least that's Locke, as that's hit over short or second base. Velasquez under it and makes the catch to retire the side. 1-2-3 for Ryan Lynch in his debut. As the Grays once again go down quietly, they're down 4-0 here as we head to the top of the 7th here at the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. Kieran Cummings still on the mound for DC as he gets into his 2nd inning of work. Retired the only batter he faced last inning on a fly ball. That would be Austin Gauthier, as Darius Foster will be the leadoff hitter against him. Very lean right-hand pitcher is Kai Cummings. Seen a lot of, guys from Grambling State on this roster. How about that? There's the first pitch to Foster, and it's 1-0. Settling into a very nice evening here in Southeast DC. 1-0 offering from Cummings. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Sun finally getting behind that horizon again. It's a swing and a miss from Foster, and it's 1-2. Big cut there, came up empty. See some guys, just some stretching, some menial stretching in the bullpen right now. You'll see that from time to time as the game gets into the later innings. Guys potentially getting ready to come in, but 4-0 lead here for Bethesda. They're shutting out the DC Grays. That's high. Haven't had a lot of guys stay on base. Have the DC Grays back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. For Carbajal and Lynch. It's low and it's full count.
Sounds like a buddy cop duo, Carbajal and Lynch.
We'll have to see if it turns into a law firm as a 3rd pitcher comes into this game. Things darkening down here at the Youth Academy. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Foster is retired.
Darkening down and cooling down. Not something we've had a lot this year.
Things getting a lot colder here.
Maybe you should have brought a sweatshirt.
Don't have a patented big train sweatshirt yet. But anyways, Matt Thomas will be up to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He's walked twice and a strikeout. Cummings' first offering. It's high ball 1. Thomas batting crazy this year. So that's low ball 2, and he's walked a lot as well.
444 coming into tonight. Like we've said, 9 walks now after 2 in this game. No hit yet. Still time.
2-0 now. Swing and a miss there. Tipped into the mitt of the catcher camper, and it's 2-1. I'd say about 20 people in the stands tonight, more or less.
And Jinx, by the way, spoiled his 0-0-0 triple zeros in the ERA coming into tonight. That was the first run he's allowed this season back in the 6th inning.
And I believe he came in just purely matchups based. Was in for 3 batters. No 3-batter rule in this league, I don't believe. Situational left-hander. As Thomas sends one deep to center field, left center back at the wall, that is gone. Goodbye. Matt Thomas destroys one way out of here into the DC Knight, and the Big Train extend their lead to 5. It's 5-0. How about that?
How about the 3rd big fly of the season for Matt Thomas, and a little more insurance up on the scoreboard for him. Thing was a rocket.
Listed as M. Hamburger on the lineup card tonight.
Flip the patty there.
Sent a slider out of here. Ball 1 here to Rocco Pepe, who's doubled. Been retired twice as well. Sacrifice fly. Thomas got all of that ball.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. The second that left his bat. Didn't choose the most advantageous part of the ballpark to deposit that one. A little deep towards the 367 sign in left center. Left of center. Interesting little.
Sending it toward a couple of, I guess, apartment buildings out there beyond.
Looks like there's maybe some construction going on.
As losing the bat on the swing and a miss there and diving out of the way is the coach for the Grays as Rocco Pepe lost his bat. He's been hit a couple times. He lost his bat. I mean, Rocco Pepe.
A little more pine tar on that handle.
Yeah. Having to swing there. 2-1.
Beautiful sunset beyond left field as well. Clear skies. Orange glow.
Pepe hits one to center field, but Bondora is going to come in and get that. No, it's going to fall in front of him. So Pepe is aboard for a base hit, his second. And the Big Train keep tacking on here. Still 5-0, but more hits on the board. Kemp Alderman now standing up at the plate. Alderman is 0 for 3.
Here's another guy who can put a ride into one. That was an interesting base hit for Pepe because, you know, obviously with the dimensions of this field, the outfield is playing way back. You know, especially for guys like Thomas, Pepe, and Alderman in the middle of the lineup that can really give a baseball a ride.
Right, and it didn't hang up for Bandora out there in center field. I mean,
really dove down in front of him quickly.
Died. So once again, Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck here with you on Big Train TV. Big Train lead at 5-0 here, top of the 7th inning. If you're just joining us, Matt Thomas sent one over the left center field fence to lead off, or to be the second batter of this inning. Alderman hits one high, not far enough, over third base. And taking it as the shortstop buffered for the second out. Jack Cohn now, who flew out a couple times and walked today. See, and that is Zach Locke. Or I believe that was Zach Locke was up in the pen, but somebody else is up now.
It's an interesting entrance to the bullpen. The gate is out on the field as a
Here's
check back on
yeah.
Pepe.
Throws
The
behind the
guy's
runner.
going to get a water from the concession stand. They don't want to go back out on the field, so they climb up there on the edge of the concrete barrier between the grass hill to the left side of the bullpen. They kind of squeeze their way between the fence pole and the protective netting as Pepe's checked on again at first base.
Right, and otherwise they'd have to walk all the way around. They'd have to walk all the way around to get back to the bullpen, as they say, Jack freaking Cone in the bullpen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cone laces one into center field. Bandura heading back, though, and makes the catch to retire the side. So gave it a ride, but not far enough, as Bandura had to work a little bit this inning. Big Train retired here, but they had one on the home run from Matt Thomas. As we head to the bottom of the seventh, we'll stretch here on Big Train TV. Real friend of the show, Zach Locke, takes the mound here for the bottom of the seventh. It's bounced high to third base. It's going to be a tough play for Pepe, and it eats him up. So runner will reach here as
Real friend of the whole media staff.
real friend of the whole media staff, Zach Locke.
Got a good trigger finger on the camera, especially when Dylan Spilko is the subject.
Dylan Spilko, our
Another
friend
great
of the show.
friend of the show.
Sam Kaplan reaches. I believe that's going to be a infield hit, or is that going to be an error? Who knows? Yeah, the new pitcher, Zach Locke, the righty. Take a look at him here. Is this going to work from the stretch?
Keeps that front foot a little down.
So there's a strike. Oh, no, ball. Excuse me.
Little
So-
hop step in that delivery.
Burt Camper, the catcher.
36 in black out of Long Beach State.
Checks on the runner first. Good pickoff move there from Locke. 1-0 here to Camper. Ball 2.
Tough pitch, just inside. Good height.
Yeah, Burt Camper tonight. It's 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts. Chops that one foul. But yeah, like you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of foul territory in right field, but none in left field.
There's not even that much in right. I mean, there's just more.
It's not
not nearly what we saw at Blair last night, where there was acres.
Not as egregious as Oco Coliseum, fouled back by Camper.
Well,
Oco Coliseum has about 1.5 miles of foul territory.
I mean, it is a football field.
Was there a lot of foul territory at RFK Stadium?
I don't remember. Probably a decent amount.
You'll see that often, and especially at
But they could do something with like the outfield fence where they were able to like kind of bring it in, almost like the Carrier Dome. You know how they do for basketball up there in Syracuse.
Yeah, there was plenty of foul territory at Hard Rock Stadium when it was a baseball. It's full count baseball stadium, and Metrodome had plenty as well. Metrodome had huge foul territory, and they also had the baggie in right field. They took out all those seats, collapsible seats. Camper laces one into left field for a base hit, and that is going to be his first hit of the day after striking out twice. So Burt Camper is aboard, and quickly 2 runners are on against Zach Locke. Cam Bufford is up. So back-to-back singles here against Zach Locke. Takes the first one for a strike. Bufford has flew out twice to center and right. Here's the pitch. Pops in there again, and it's 0-2.
Bufford another wide, high stance.
So that bends in and out of the strike zone, and it's 1-2.
Slight off-speed pitch there from Locke. Gets those legs spread wide base with the feet, and then stands nice and tall. Gets that bat up high above his head.
If you missed last night's game, Coach Sal got wins number 499 and 500 as Bufford is rung up there for a strikeout. Out number 1.
Good punch out there from Zach Locke. Get the first out of this inning.
And a big first out with 2 runners on. Jared Sprague-Lott is up now. Has been held in check tonight, 0 for 2. See if Lott can deliver checkmate. That's outside ball 1. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. There's only been 2 runners left on base today for DC. A lot of zeros up there on the scoreboard. Or on the line score, excuse me. But zeros in the run column as well. That's it high in the air. Racing back for it is Velasquez, pointing up for it. Coming in is Thomas to make the catch for the second out. No runners are moving.
Yeah, great job to track that one from Matt Thomas. Not easy coming all the way there from deep right field and coming in just inside foul territory down the right field line. Excellent unrecorded assist from Kyle Velasquez to let him know where it was.
Pointing exactly where that ball was as Patrick Vandenberg is up. 1 for 2 with a single.
Beautiful, nearly creamsicle sky out there. Sunset casting an orange glow over the nation's capital.
That's laced right at the shortstop Gauthier, and the side is retired. So Locke allows the first two to reach, but nothing else. He gets 3 quick outs. As the Big Train still lead at 5-0 here after 7. Plethora of defensive changes here as Kieran Cummings takes over and Velasquez stands in. Jared Sprague-Lott moves from first base to shortstop. Cam Bufford is out of the game. Nehemiah Wright is in center field, and first base is, I forget his first name, but Tarkenton.
Jay Tarkenton.
Jay Tarkenton.
Out of Old Dominion, another team that went pretty deep in the NCAA regionals.
So we'll see who is replaced. I believe it's just Bufford and Bondora are both out of the game. We'll see if Wright bats for him. Sprague-Lott moves to short. Keep his bat in the lineup. Grounded off the end of the bat right to Cummings. He'll fire to first base for the first out. And how about that? Tarkenton comes into the game and immediately is asked to do some work. But you'll see that from first baseman.
It's what you expect when you're over there in the right corner. Not the hot corner.
So here's Grant Knipp. He is 1 for 2, reached on an error, walked, stole a base. Having himself a nice night at the dish.
Came around to score back in the 3rd inning. First Big Train run of the day.
There's a strike to Knipp, and it's 0-1.
Good off speed there from Cummings. Knipp, 7 runs scored, 6 hits, a triple, and 6 walks.
It's still 5-0 Big Train. Knipp fouls it back into the netting. Having a nice night here in D.C. Bethesda Big Train up 5-0.
Again, getting chilly. Wish I'd brought a sweatshirt.
It's not that chilly, Ben. Let's be honest. It's like 62
I'd be more
degrees.
comfortable. Just saying. Don't
Cummings
judge
has
me.
got Knipp 0-2 here. Pops that way up there. That's going to go out of play. No chance for a play there. Where's that going to land? On the concourse. And has a one hop off the dugout of the softball field and rolls onto the softball field. How about that?
Race for it over from the pavilion to young fans onto the field. Oh, he gets lapped and scooped at the last second. The younger one had a massive lead all the way through and accelerating at the end to scoop up that baseball.
Knipp waits back on the breaking ball, hits it up the middle. Nice sliding play, but no chance. to get anything as Sprague Lott came across the entire diamond to get that ball.
How about being called right into action? Sprague Lott probably moving more in the field than he did all night at first base. An excellent charge all the way across the second base bag, diving to stop that ball from rolling into the outfield, but no chance to get Grant Knipp at first.
So that's the second hit of the night for Grant Knipp, and Nolan Shawnuel will come up, who's walked, struck out, and had a sacrifice ground out to drive in a run.
8th RBI of the year for Shawnuel.
High ball one. Just as is often after almost every game, we'll have Big Train TV post-game tonight to wrap up what's been a great night at the ballpark. But for now, still at the top of the 8th inning. Still 5-zip. Cummings looking to keep it that way. So that bends in there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Shawnuel, I think we've talked about it a few times, but really a fantastic year as a freshman All-American for Florida Atlantic. 56 RBIs, 68 hits, 11 doubles and home runs.
There goes Knipp. Bounces the throw. No chance to get him. Here's a steal second on the
And there is number
1-1
35
count.
for the Big Train in that category.
2-1 now, the count from Cummings to Shawnuel. Would love to get that runner in.
And look at Camper out there, the catcher for DC. Got his arm around Cummings, that glove up high. Kemp makes his walk back from the little boy's room.
See several people walking around here on the concourse. Big Train, Grays, everybody. Every team that is in action tonight has at least one person on the concourse.
I mean, that's the beautiful part of collegiate baseball, right? You never know who you're going to run into in the bathroom. Maybe Gio Gonzalez, who knows?
He was in attendance for one of the exhibition games at Povich Field.
Look at Knipp. You know, not the speediest guy, right? Not the guy you'd really think of when it comes to base running prowess. But dancing off second base, drawing Kai Cummings off the rubber, and playing on the mind of number 3 out there on the rubber. And as he bounces another pitch over the plate. You have to think that Knipp's presence on the second base bag weighing heavily on Mr. Cummings right now.
Yeah, dancing off the bag. And turf's been kicked up all over the infield today. How about that? It's a very clean infield until we get into the later hours as turf, the rubber, is all over the place.
Still needs a rake, just like a dirt field.
There goes Knipp. Throw down is in time, and he is dead as a doornail at third base. Knipp caught stealing. Shawnuel reaches first base via the walk. So runner on is replaced Grant Knipp, even though Knipp was heading to third base. Caught stealing, and there's 2 down. And Gauthier will look to fatten up his credentials tonight, just 0 for 3 with a walk here in the 8th inning. One more chance for the Big Train you'll see tonight to bat. Things start to close down here at Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. Cummings' first offering, fouled back by Gauthier, and it's 0-1. Yes, but things are starting to quiet down here at the field. Not many in attendance tonight at this game. The Big Train have rolled to a 5-0 lead. The 0-1 offering to Gauthier now. Throwback as Cummings was checking on the runner there. Shawnuel at first base.
Cummings, similar to our very own Jack Cohn, does it all. Most of his appearances this season at the Mount were actually in the field as an outfielder.
That gets away, and there goes Shawnuel to second. So
Shawnuel
not exactly
round second, looking towards third.
Not exactly an inning to remember, even though no one's come around to score for either side. Knipp was caught stealing at third. Shawnuel reached on the wild pitch from Cummings. I forgot the name for a second there.
Yeah, so Cummings, like I said, just 1 inning pitch this year for Mount St. Mary's. 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit by pitch. It was a 16-3 game for the Mount against Wagner. See why they went to a more dominantly positioned player. Even though he definitely has plenty of ability out there on the bump.
That one pours in there for a strike.
Showing
and it's
it right
1-2.
there.
Yeah, that sizzled. Gauthier holding that bat right near his ears.
Hands tight to the helmet. Absolutely. Bat all the way back, almost parallel to the ground.
Gauthier hits one high into the outfield, hoping for a play towards the bullpen is the first baseman Tarkenton, but it's going to go into our pals down there in the right field bullpen instead.
Souvenir for Matt Bedford down there.
A couple of guys are up in the bullpen, just stirring. See if Locke gets a second inning of work here. Probably will. Known to be a bulk guy out of the pen.
Bedford with a deep examination of that baseball. Really pondering its existence.
As Gauthier fouls back, is he looking for sticky stuff?
I
Tyler
wonder.
Glasnow was not very happy and got injured because of the lack of sticky stuff, but sunscreen and rosin is less egregious than spider tack.
Jake Eddington with some nachos.
Did he get the chili on them, though, is the question, because for $1 you can get chili on them.
Should have tried the chili on the hot dog.
I should have asked for that.
DC staple.
Maybe
We gotta go down to Ben's Chili Bowl next time we're around here.
why don't we just go after the game?
It's probably closed. Actually, they might not be. They might be open late.
Well, if we head back down here next time, and we absolutely can do that. So that's in there for a ball. 2-2 to Gauthier.
I got some good deli meat waiting for me at home.
I don't know what I'm going to grab.
Some
before I head to-
bagels, too.
Ooh, maybe a English muffin or something.
I'm hungry again.
You already ate a hot dog during the telecast, Ben.
Don't shame me.
It's fouled back way up there.
Heads up.
Heads up on the field as that bounces onto the
Right near first base.
softball diamond. I thought that hit the light tower.
That's been two. The last two balls hit that direction have been right on track for the light tower. Not the light tower power these big train hitters are looking for necessarily.
Saw that from Thomas, who is in the hole. 2 outs, though. Cummings just trying to get out of it with a runner in scoring position for Gauthier. We'll see what's up here with 2 strikes. And reaching for that one and popping it straight up into the infield, and Cummings will make the play.
Assertive call off for the rest of the defense.
So side is retired here in the top of the 8th inning as the big train get a runner to second and almost third. But Nip caught stealing and a pop out from Gauthier to retire the side. Lock back to the mound for the bottom of the 8th inning. Knick-knack Robbie Wacker up to the plate. Just takes a strike. 0-1 here. Zach Locke out for a second inning of work, looking to bridge the gap to the 9th inning. We'll see if somebody else is on, as lasers shining at me from the bullpen.
Yeah, that can get you ejected in a lot of major league stadiums.
Is that the ball outside? Jesse Barron shining a laser up to us. As Ben voices his displeasure.
I think he just took a baseball glove to the nether regions there as well.
1-1 here gets away.
I don't want to say it was deserved, but it might be deserved.
Jesse Barron is down for the count.
Somehow I don't think he's coming on to pitch the 9th.
Maybe we'll get him up here in the booth again and ask him what's up.
Family, jewels, and peril.
There's a strike and it's 2-2 to Robbie Wacker. Jesse Barron
Still on his knees. Oh, there he goes.
He's up now, but that did not look friendly. As he shines the laser up to us and gets pelted. Grounded towards short. Easy enough for Gauthier. Shore-handed fires to first in time for the first out.
Good scoop by Sean Uell. And I'm serious about that. There's a lot of major league stadiums that will eject you just for having a laser pointer. Really a danger to those in the field of play.
Yes, but I think you made everyone in the ballpark hear that when you said it.
Voicing my displeasure.
Very loudly at that. There's a ground out to short for Robbie Wacker, and Kenny Bell is the new hitter who's struck out twice. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Now it's the DC Grays dugout turn to voice their own displeasure.
Yeah.
Thought that one was a little high.
So, yeah, Jesse Barron pulls a laser pointer out of his bag o' fun and shines at us as Bell puts one in play and gets a base hit into left field. First time he's aboard today, and he's aboard with a single. I'm glad they're having fun down there. So that looked painful.
Got to make the most of their time.
I'm sorry, I just can't get over seeing him going down in a heap.
Nehemiah Wright, a defensive substitution in center field. Now stepping to the plate to bat for Scott Bandura.
Looking to do his best David Wright impression here and sock a 2-run homer. Takes a strike there, and it's 0-1.
Locke with that short, compact delivery, almost a hop step in the stride. Getting that powerful right arm across.
0-1 now. Is looped into foul territory, hoping for a play as Thomas, and
it's
fair. It's fair for a base hit, so Nehemiah Wright is aboard, and Kenny Bell gets to third.
And again, doing what Scott Bandura could not and getting aboard.
Bell all the way to third. Nehemiah Wright a pinch hit single. And when you're coming in as a pinch hitter, you're usually cold. So for him to come in and get a base hit like that.
Now, Tyler, not technically a pinch hitter.
All right, defensive.
Already-
But even
already
though
said that.
coming up for your first at-bat, you're going to be cold if you come in late into the game.
Maybe physically cold as well, the way the temperatures drop.
Ben, I think you need to stop mentioning the temperature. I think people know at this point how cold you are.
Runner goes, nip, fires.
And runner break for the plate as it's into the runner and into left field. So coming in to score. And the first run of the game for the Grays belongs to Kenny Bell as he comes in on the throw down to second, stole home.
Yeah, that one off of Nehemiah Wright on the throw down. We're going to take some time to shake it out a little bit.
So things getting closer to a safe situation here as it's 5-1 and a runner in scoring position. And with one out, Peter Costigan up to the plate, who's 1 for 2, or 1 for 3. 72 degrees in Washington, D.C. Still, if it's a balmy 72 degrees.
It's a balmy 72.
As Ben will make sure to let you guys know when someone gets up in the bullpen. I believe that is, in fact, Jesse Barron.
Trying to shake off the adversity.
It's fouled back, and it's 1-2.
Fight through the pain.
If it gets to a 3-run lead, we'll probably see him. I don't know if Ryan Metz is available tonight.
Getting that arm loose quickly. Some short throwing from front of the mound.
1-2. There goes right. Ball taken, and he's safe at third. So Nip's cannon was tested a bit there, and Wright gets all the way to third base with another stolen base, his second. And 90 feet away is that second run. Big train come up. It will be Foster, Thomas, and Pepe due up, exactly who you want due up. Yeah, now aggressively throwing is Barron. Is there strike three? As Costigan did a check swing, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, up on the rubber. I think it's Matt Howitt, the lefty, who's the impromptu bullpen catcher.
They could send Danny Nerai out there.
Matt Thomas probably has the shortest commute from right field.
Yeah.
But he's a little busy at the moment.
Absolutely is. Sam Kaplan, the hitter. 1 for
Now,
3.
A little bit of a change in Zach Locke's delivery. A little more of a high step to start that stride rather than that kind of quick step, almost hop step.
Maybe trying to throw the runners off as the sky is now turning to its orange and blue color of the New York Mets. Swing and a miss. I can't believe they're rooting for the Mets down here in D.C. Unbelievable. You know, that little couple, like 20, 30 minutes post-sunset orange and blue mixture in the sky.
No comment.
Light pollution, maybe. Steps off. When in a city like D.C., you're going to see some light pollution regardless. It's 0-2. With 2 outs. Fouled way back and going into the field once more. Third. He almost hit a home run on the other field. How about that? 0-2 still as the fans run over to get those again. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it. So the 1 run does come across, but Locke gets out of it. And the Big Train lead at 5-1, heading to the last inning of play.
One in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Darius Foster, the man to lead off the final inning, perhaps, for the Big Train. As standing up now again for more yeoman's work is Kai Cummings. Keep forgetting his first name. On for his 3rd inning now that he's appeared in. Pitched 2 1/3 innings thus far. Looking to make that 3 1/3. Foster squaring to bunt, but fouls back into the screen, and it's 0-1. 0-1 here to Darius Foster. Low ball one. It is getting chilly here, though. I will say that.
Huh.
But
Funny
not
you should
chilly
mention
enough
that.
to mention it 3,000 times like you have. Foster hits one towards the dugout. Third baseman Whacker makes the play. One down. Matt Thomas homered his last time up. Looks to do just that again. I got some heckles from the bullpen after I called that.
Never going to say no to another insurance run.
Absolutely is. Trying to reward whoever the next pitcher is. It's probably going to be Barron with some run support. He already's got 4 runs, but never can have enough.
Jesse Barron going to enter that psychopath state of mind that he goes to when it's his turn to make that slightly shorter trot out from the bullpen.
1-0.
Just lock in. And that's what's so impressive to me about him is, he's a fun guy. He can have a good time.
Like Kawhi?
As we've seen. But when it's time, it's time. And he has the stuff. Mentally and pitching-wise, as this one's...
Hits one towards us. That's going off the roof of the Youth Academy.
Wait, this one might be rolling towards us.
It could be.
Oh, maybe stuck up there.
What is a flat roof?
It looks like, from where I'm standing, it looks like slightly slanted. But maybe a gutter up there?
Potentially. Either way, it's 2-1 to Thomas. And he hits another one to center field, right center field. Back at the wall is the right fielder, Kaplan, and he'll make the play for the second out. So didn't have the distance that the last one had.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure. I guess technically that netting above the yellow line there is out of play, so that would have been a home run. Didn't really have the height, but gave that one a decent ride.
Here's Rocco Pepe, who has doubled and singled and had a sacrifice fly tonight. Nice night.
Couple nice nights back-to-back now for Rocco.
Well, not so nice last night.
Well, nice sprinkled in with some not so nice. Got to give and take.
Take whatever you can get here in the top of the 9th innings. The Big Train lead at 5-1. Stay tuned for about 3 to 7 minutes after this broadcast is over. We'll have the Big Train TV postgame show as Pepe takes a strike and it's 1-1.
1 for 2 last night.
Yeah.
Scored once, singled, walked, and 3 hit by pitches.
Well, and if anyone watching has questions for us, we'd love to answer them in the postgame show. Something you want to know about the team, feel free to ask us. Pepe sends one to left field. That is way out of here. Goodbye. Rocco Pepe sends one back to Bethesda, and the Big Train extend their lead to 6-1, and there's that insurance run they were looking for.
Sayonara, says Mr. Pepe, as it's a big fly for his first of the season.
And I think the president has been notified of that one in the airspace of Washington, D.C.
Should be some rockets coming in any moment to shoot down that unidentified flying object.
Oh, well, we've identified it. We identified that it was a long solo home run from Rocco Pepe, and that left field fence just beckons. 307 down the line, and he hit it about probably 40, 50 feet past it. So Kemp Alderman now the batter. Big swing and a miss, looking to do the same there.
Trying to go back-to-back there. It's a little out in front of it.
It's 0-1.
Now up to 11 RBIs, surpasses the batter right now.
Another big swing and a miss for Kemp Alderman, and it's 0-2.
Second on the team behind Matt Thomas's 13.
So it will likely be Jesse Barron for the 9th inning. Looking to lock it down. Don.
Don, spelled D-H-A-N.
Yinzers. Weirdest term ever. Fouled back.
Not going to dispute that one.
They love their French fries.
And ranch.
You ever been to Permanis? You've been to Permanis.
Of course.
I mean, I love their sandwiches, but man, so many French fries. It's like biting into a fresh potatoes that's bitten to the dirt there for ball one.
No potatoes under this dirt.
That would be cool if there was. Only potatoes in sight are the chips that are in the concession stand.
I wonder how many baseballs are on that roof.
Probably several. This is a baseball facility after all, as it's now 2-2 to Kemp Alderman.
Yeah, I thought about that one for a second, but happy to watch that one. Dropped just below him. Good breaking ball there from Cummings. Potentially get Alderman to chase again. But now 2-2.
Jack Cohn would be next. Alderman taking strike 3 called, and that'll do it. So the home run from Pepe gets another run across for the big train. They lead it 6-1 heading to the last half of the 9th inning and the game. Jesse Barron to the mound when we come back here on Big Train TV.
Yes.
Jesse Barron, the psychopathic reliever, comes onto the mound, and we'd like to give a quick shout out to Len Pepe, who, yes, Len,
Finally.
and no hit by pitch, as he said. His son has had to bear the brunt of some painful at-bats this season, but he sent that ball back to Bethesda, and there was no doubt about that one. Sailed through the air like a radio wave, as Bill Walton would say.
5 2/3 innings now for Jesse Barron out of San Francisco. 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and a 3.17 ERA. 286 batting average against.
Burt Camper fouls one off, and it's 1-1. But yes, Rocco Pepe and Matt Thomas tonight, towers of power. All you can say. Both of them were majestic blasts. So Jack Braley gets up and thrown in the bullpen. Pepe's had more of an arc to it, though. I'll tell you that.
Slider, fastball, change, curve.
It's inside ball 2.
Looked like the fastball there.
Thomas's was just like right into the trees over that 367 sign, and Pepe's disappeared into the DC night. Southeast DC night. There's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, and look for the slider here from Barron. 60 to 70% of the time he'll go to that in strikeout situations, he told us.
Yeah, no stranger to the slide piece.
It's okay to know that, because if it's coming, you can't
Popped
hit
way
it.
up there, hoping for a play is Nip, and coming in is Sean Barron. They all converge, and Nip drops the ball. So new life for Camper, as his counterpart behind the dish has it amble off his level.
Yeah.
You can lose it in the sky, especially when
In the sky, the light right there. Light really in both sides, behind and in front of him. Tough play there.
as Kyle Velasquez shovels Nolan Shawnewell's hat back to him, spinning through the air like a frisbee. 6-1 Big Train lead here in the bottom of the ninth. Camper hoping to get some of those runs back here. That is Jack Braley up in the bullpen.
Just in case. Getting a little session in. Getting that arm warm.
Barron delivers. Did he hold? Yes, he did. So full count now to Camper with his new life.
Yeah, really great pitch. You don't mind that on 2-2. You can avoid to give up a ball. A good pitch to try to get the batter to chase there.
Absolutely.
And just good discipline from Camper to stay back.
So, count runs full here. Barron just trying to get this game over with and extend the Big Train record to 8-1 as walks Camper there to lead off this inning. 8-1. That's just crazy. It's been a hot start to the season for Bethesda. Everybody in the bullpen is all together, ready to file out when this game ends.
Jay Tarkenton, the first baseman, hitting for Bufford, of course. Sprague Lott will stay in his normal batting spot on deck.
41. Jay Tarkenton, hoping to do better than his counterpart did in the batting circle. 0 for 3 with a couple of 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of flyouts was Bufford. 2-0.
Strikeout looking as well.
He's got a very Kimbrel-esque set motion. Not as egregious as his, obviously, but grounded to third, could be two. A diving play by Pepe, can't make it, and there's no play anywhere as Pepe tried to cut that ball off. But reaching with an infield single is Jay Tarkenton in his first at-bat.
Yeah, tough play all around defensively. Really hard-hit ball just past the outstretched glove of Pepe. And once Gauthier had it, not charging with Pepe coming over. Just now time to get Tarkenton flying down the first base line.
Jared Sprague-Lott, the hitter. Grand slam proof, Jesse Barron. So he doesn't have to worry about a home run here regardless, even if it is not loaded bases. But if it does load the bases, he's grand slam proof with a 5-run lead.
Good breaking ball there to start him off. A little low for a ball. Just trying to get back inside the zone. Misses high.
So we just creep past the 9:30, or right near 9:30 here.
Just towards the bottom of the hour.
Very fast game. Near 2 hours and 30 minutes. Knock on metal, I guess, because we're on a metal railing. But it is the 9th inning, so
got to go get a broken bat, knock on some wood.
the game will soon be over regardless. So there's a nice strike from Barron, and it's 2-1.
Really good job. Again, not the pitch he's always looking for with the fastball. When 2-0, you just got to find the zone. It does very nicely there, just above the knees.
2-1 here. Big swing, but fouled near the bullpen gates and batting practice shield. Batting practice cage.
What is that technically called? The batting
Probably
practice
cage,
cage?
yeah.
Huh.
Because I
I
know
never really thought about that.
the bullpen fence is what the
Right, yeah, that I know. The L fence sometimes too. If it's
love those
actually
things
an L.
when I'm taking batting practice with my friends back home. That's off the bat. Oh man, having to duck for that one, but the bat getting in the way.
Got to get that thing down.
And a strike.
Got to get that thing down. If you're ducking, bat's got to come with you. Left it sticking up there.
Jesse
Behind
Barron
his
will
head.
absolutely take that.
Yeah. Especially with, runners on. Runners might be standing at second and third now with no outs.
That's crushed into center field. Cone coming on off the plate on a hop, and that'll load the bases here for none other than Patrick Vandenberg. Bases juiced, ducks in the pond, whatever you want to call it. And guys will get stretching in the bullpen as Barron may be bending a little bit here. Still not, or it is a safe situation now if someone enters, as the tying run is on deck. That's how safe situations work after all. Lined into left field for a base hit, and that'll score a run. So Vandenberg keeps the line moving with an RBI single, and all of a sudden, 6-2 the score.
Still no outs here in the bottom of the ninth.
3 consecutive singles as Matt Howitt gets up in the bullpen. It's Jesse Barron trying to get his bearings on the pitcher's mound as Ben throws off the headset in disgust and leaves the Nationals Youth Academy. Just kidding, he's still here.
Not mentally.
Not mentally, though, as I've destroyed
Physically, sure, but mentally,
his mindset after that one. 6-2, bases loaded, still nobody out, and one swing to tie it here from Robbie Wacker. So that's in the dirt, 1-0, or 1-1, excuse me.
Just hasn't been able. I mean, the breaking balls look good, but just hasn't really been able to.
And do you think it's because of the weather? I mean, do you think it's because it's a little bit chilly here and maybe he doesn't have that? He's got the long sleeves on, and
You've mentioned it as many times as me now.
No, Ben, you've mentioned it several more times. Grounded towards short, could be 2 to second for 1. The run will come in regardless. Throw to first is in time. A double play, a big double play as a groan from the crowd happens, but that's a huge out. 2 outs to get for Barron. 6-4-3 on the double play, and it is now a 6-3 ball game as a runner comes in. Jay Tarkenton in to score, but to third is Sprague Lott, but out at second is Vandenberg, and out at first is Wacker on the 6-4-3.
Yeah, great stretch, especially from Nolan Shanuel. I feel like we've highlighted both first basemen respectively defensively a lot, and that one is really important for Shanuel at first base because you can let that ball come into your mitt as you're stretching for it, or you can really reach out and grab it and force that kind of sound because that's what the umpire is looking for. His eyes are focused on the base.
As Bell bounces one to third, in fair territory, the fire to first is offline, and Bell will be safe, and another run will come in. So getting all the much closer here are the DC Grays, still down to their final out, and they'll turn the lineup card over for Nehemiah Wright, who singled his last time up. I believe that'll be a throwing error.
No, that's a hit.
Or that's a base hit.
Or no, that's, I don't know. We'll see. What I was saying was the umpire will have his eyes on the base looking for the runner's foot and be listening for the sound of the mitt. So when you can force that glove out there and get that sound a little bit quicker.
Check swing went around and strike 1.
Gives you that much of an advantage.
More groans from the bullpen and the crowd as it's 6-4. Howitt throwing hard in the bullpen.
Tying run at the plate, potentially.
Yeah, there goes the runner Bell. Nips throw down is into center field, and Wright will stay at second. So things starting to snowball a little bit. Kenny Bell is at second, and Nehemiah Wright is up at the dish. The most runners sent to the plate in any inning thus far.
Yep.
For the DC Grays, and they're saving the best for last. Barron just trying to put this game to sleep. There goes
effort.
Bell again. Nips throw down is high, and
really good
all
jump.
the way to third goes Kenny Bell. We'll see what his hit was scored on that play.
Infield starting to creep in a little bit.
Going to be an E5.
There's a punch out to end the game.
Yeah, strike 3 called. Big Train win it. Huge strikeout for Jesse Barron. And we've rolled into Victory Station here in D.C. It took a little bit to get to it, but the ball game is over. Big Train win. They're up 8-1 in the standings, and just a great season thus far as handshakes all around, and the Big Train win it here.
What an efficient handshake line there from the bullpen. Straight into the train parade, a train of handshakes. And a great win here, 6-4, well-deserved. Got some offense early and able to get out of the jam late as they do their best to move up to 8-1 on the season here in this rain-out makeup.
Yeah, and tomorrow night they'll be in Gaithersburg, of course, so that game will be fun as well. But the winning pitcher tonight, Noah Carbajal, pitches 5 pretty solid innings, and the losing pitcher, of course, goes to Davidson. Jake Davidson gets the loss on the season. But Carbajal getting his 2nd win of the year, moving to 2-0 as the Big Train moved to 8-1. Stay tuned here on Big Train TV for the Big Train postgame show with me and Ben Bobeck when we come back.
And welcome here inside the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. Ben Bobeck and Tyler Gallo here inside the light for Big Train postgame following a big 6-4 as the Big Train roll on to their 8th win of the season, Tyler. They got the offense early and held on late. And another big win number 501 for Sacalangelo in the CRCBL.
Absolutely power plant offense tonight for the Big Train. Strength of 2 big home runs, one by Rocco Pepe and one by Matt Thomas. Pepe's was sent a bit further into the night, but Thomas's was far as well. And, they extend their record to 8-1. They've just been rolling to start this season as they normally do. And I don't think there's really end in sight for this game. I haven't seen anything out of the other teams to really just combat this. I mean, a big scare in the 9th there on Jesse Barron, but he still bent but did not break. And they got out of it with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Some stellar pitching to start things off for Noah Carbajal. 5 very strong shutout innings pitched. And a really just another impressive outing for the Big Train starter. Seems like the 4th in the row now.
Yeah, he gets the W here, his second to the win. He's 2-0. And then, of course, Jake, I'm forgetting his name, Davidson. Jake Davidson moves to 1-1 on the season. Davidson had a pretty weird line tonight, but yeah, Carbajal was just almost spotless through the first 5 innings that he pitched and really gave Coach Sacalangelo a great start.
And does he get your performance of the game honors?
I think I'm not going to go with Carbajal on this one strictly because I'm going to pick an offensive player tonight, and I think it's got to be Rocco Pepe. Pepe checked in and delivered a couple hits, including a big home run and a sacrifice fly tonight. He nearly hit that one out too, and the Big Train get the W here on strength of his hitting.
2 RBIs for number 1 in black tonight. And it seems a little bit strange almost that after, more than 40 runs in 3 games, the night they score only 6, it goes to the offensive player. But you got to do what you got to do. So, again, Rocco Pepe, our performance of the game here on the Big Train postgame show. Tyler, any final thoughts from this one before we wrap it up before Gaithersburg tomorrow night?
First time they did not score more than 8 runs in a game, and they still got the win. So it shows just how potent this team really is and how good they actually are. Very enjoyable night here in D.C., and we're excited to come back here later on in the season.
So, on a chilly night here at the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy in Southeast D.C., for Tyler Gallo, I've been Ben Bobeck. Thanks for tuning in to Big Train TV and Big Train postgame one more time. The final score, Bethesda 6 and the D.C. Grays 4. We'll see you next time right here on Big Train TV.